Welcome to another preview of racing in Melbourne this weekend. And we're going to look at some races, of course, interstate, as we have done for the past couple of weeks with Steve Moran from Best Bets. And Steve, this week the features head up north to Brisbane. Adelaide's now over, and a nice program at Flemington too. Yeah, certainly terrific meeting at Flemington. Great depth in most of the races. Looks intriguing but potentially lucrative punting program, and good action at Doomben, of course. Highlighted by the Doomben Cup, and hopefully there's a few Victorians who might be to the fore again. Well, let's take a look at the Flemington program first of all. There's 3 listed races on the program, and your best bet comes up in one of those, the 2-year-old. Yes, the Gibson Carmichael at the 1600. I'm pretty keen on Donna Cativa, Danny O'Brien's filly. Went to Adelaide, had some late support when stepped up to the 1600 metres, bolted in, beat it a useful lineup, and ran particularly good time, ran much quicker time than the older horses in the 2-mile races later in the day. Now, even allowing for some track deterioration through the program, I still think that's quite significant. I'm a great believer in the fact that fast times don't lie, slow ones might be meaningless, but the fast ones are generally a pretty solid guide, and I like her race 2, number 2, Donna Cativa. What about something at the each way price line? You found one here, Module? Yeah, pretty keen on Module, race 4, number 9. They put up around sort of $12 early markets. You might be struggling to get sort of $9 or $10 now, but at that quote, I still think it's good value, and happy to back him each way. His run here, 2 starts back behind the obvious candidates in Playwright and Chassé, was enormous. He then went to Warrnambool and had no luck. He has the weight advantage on those top 2 this time, and from gate 3, I think he can get the run of the race. I can't really see him missing Module, race 4, number 9. And we're going to have to wait to the final race of the day to pick up the biggest prize in your eyes. A horse that's ageing now, but when he does bob up at odds. Yes, the good Doctor, race 8, number 8, Dr. Nip and Tuck. Now, conditional against the fact you'd like to see that he's still got the zest for racing, but last start he finally drew a gate and had no luck at all, got hemmed in. His 3 previous runs, I think he drew 12, 16 and 15. And at his last run, he finished only a length behind Hawke's Bay, who then went to Adelaide and ran second to Linton in the Group 3. So, you know, he was around the 25-1 mark when I last looked. And, you know, Saturday's probably the last time. You know, have something on him on the big odds Saturday. If he doesn't really hit the line, well, maybe it's suggesting he hasn't got the zest for it anymore. But I'm prepared to take those odds one last time. And I reckon there's another roughie on the program too. Andrew, I'm going to get greedy. Race 6, number 9, Crafty Cruiser in the Andrew Ramsden. Similar odds. Terrific record in this distance range, and he's another one that's worth having a small bet on, Crafty Cruiser. Well, there you go from Steve, Crafty Cruiser and Dr. Nip and Tuck, the 2 best roughies for the afternoon at Flemington. Steve, as we've done in the past couple of weeks, we've looked at the feature racing interstate, and as I said, Adelaide is now over. Your thoughts on the Black Caviar 21st party last Saturday? Brilliant to see her win again, and I was just saying to you off air, I went out this week to buy the Black Caviar commemorative stamps. No good? Missed the boat. I tried 3 post offices, all sold out, tried the website, product no longer available, so... look, I don't know whether they had stamps for Phar Lap 80 years ago, but it's hard to imagine any other racehorse generating that sort of interest, so that's fantastic. We don't see her this week, but we see the stable, of course, Peter Moody, represented by Managar in the Doomben Cup. Again, a point you raised a little earlier about the great form from the Hollandale leading into this, but I doubt many years we've had a horse going into this race with Managar's sort of form. Now, again, the only reservation may be Melbourne to Sydney, pretty long campaign. But you finish up with egg on face if you question Peter Moody too often. He's clearly the horse to beat. But those coming through the Hollandale, She's Sensational, Marwingo, Lights of Heaven, maybe even the old veteran Scenic Shot who's chasing a 3rd win in the race. So it's a terrific depth in this year's Doomben Cup. I default to Managar. Do I want to mortgage the house? Probably not. It's a nice house too down there in Rye. I've been past it once or twice. Steve, what about some of the other Victorians that are in action up in Brisbane on the weekend? Don't be embarrassed, you can knock on the door next time you're going past, Holmesy. Well, I thought it was interesting in Adelaide last week that we had a couple of those emerging Victorian horses, Bonnie Mac, Lucky Penny, go there and perform so very well. And I wonder whether the same might apply in Brisbane this weekend with Smoke and Joey, who's now put 3 together, turned the corner. Peter Morgan's horse, Amar Rock, so good at Caulfield. I think we might have a hand again in those support races on the weekend. All right, Steve, thanks for your time. Good luck in Singapore. Terrific. No,
won't be going to Singapore. I'll be staying here for the action of Flemington.
There's an international trip on the radar and you're not going?
No, well, no Aussie horses, no Cirrus de Zagler, no Rocket Man. Actually, I feel a bit sorry for the Singapore Turf Club because they've lost a little lustre there, but there's still some good horses competing, but happy to stay home with you.
Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Andrew.
Steve Moran from Best Bets with his thoughts on racing. Group 1 racing up in Brisbane, of course, a really nice meeting here at Flemington on the weekend.